doesn't have to be this high or this wide, book or block, and then place it under your shoulder blades. And I'll show you two variations. Either it's going to be wide side, and then it's going to lie just beneath your shoulder blades, or you can take it the long way and place it between the shoulder blades, which might be uncomfortable because your shoulder blades might not be as wide apart as your block or book is wide. For those of you who have a very open upper spine or mid spine, take it the high way. Okay, that's a song. Take it the high, my way or the highway. See which way works for you. I'll show you when I lie down. If I take it the square way, make sure that you don't feel any discomfort in your lower back. You can have your legs stretched out, or you can stand them up, those feet, or you can even go into butterfly pose, depending on how comfortable you feel. We won't stay here for too long. And then lay your arms palm facing up, stretched out, shoulders relaxed. Obviously, the bigger the arch you can attain in your neck, the more you'll be able to open your throat and those muscles connecting your lower jaw to your upper chest, to your collarbones. Then play around with the angle of your hands, and you'll find an angle where you get the maximum stretch across your chest and into your anterior deltoid. Okay, so that's having it square. If you take it the long way, it's very similar. You have to pay even more attention so that the lower edge of the block or book does not push into your lower back. Okay, so whatever position you choose, if this is not something you'd like to do today, always check in with your body, then just lie flat on the mat. Find a position that works for you. And then allow your chest or your back to sink into your block or onto your block, and slowly sink past that block into the mat. Close your eyes. Let's just take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the open mouth. If you'd like to sigh, please do so, whatever works for you. Filling your chest with beautiful fresh oxygen, and then slowly letting it escape through your open mouth. And 2 more. Last one. Alrighty, now try to make your exhale longer than your inhale. And then take your right hand, place it onto your belly. Whether it's your lower belly or around your belly button doesn't actually matter. Then take your left hand and place it above your heart. Try to relax those shoulders and elbows anyway. And then breathe deeply into your lower abdomen, pushing that belly into your right hand. And then pull that breath up past your beautiful shining solar plexus. Imagine a golden light spreading out from there. And then keep pulling that inhale up into your heart center. And color it either pink or light green. And then slowly exhale from your heart center, feeling your left hand travel downwards, past your golden light in your solar plexus. And then down past your belly button, pulling it back towards your spine. And right at the end of your exhale, contract your perineum. And with your next inhale, release the perineum, push your belly into your right hand. Pull the breath up past your beautiful, shiny solar plexus. Allow it to spread out to the edges of your body. And then pull that breath up into your heart cavity. And allow that light and color that you can envisage, either green or pink, allow that to spread out up to your crown chakra, your shoulders, down your arms. And with the exhale, allow that light to join your golden light from your solar plexus. And allow those two lights to flood down your abdomen, pulling belly button back towards your spine. Contract your perineum and allow those two lights to flood down all the way to the tip of your toes. And with your inhale, pull those two lights and colors up into your belly one last time. Deposit your golden light in your solar plexus. And pull your green or pink light up into your heart cavity. Deposit it there. And then keep pulling your inhale up past your throat chakra into your third eye and then all the way up to your crown. So your entire body is infused with light. And then slowly exhale from your highest point all the way down into your heart cavity, into your solar plexus, down to your belly button, pulling it back towards your spine. And then at the very end, contract your perineum. And release the perineum with your inhale, at the same time moving your right hand up to your left hand, covering your heart center. Connect with that color again, be it pink or green. And allow that light to flood your entire body. Maybe even surpassing your physical boundaries, and let it shine out into the world. And with your next inhale, gather that light back into your heart center. And exhale through your open heart, open mouth, releasing your hands down next to your body. Slowly bend your legs. If you didn't have them bent, place your feet onto the ground. Slowly shift your weight to the left or right side, lifting your spine off the mat, off the block so you can remove it. Place it somewhere close by. Lie down onto your back, hugging your knees towards your chest and gently sway from side to side. Take your neck along. Be gentle with your neck. Start off with small movements, make them bigger with each and every rocking motion. And then slowly make them smaller until you come to the center. Then gently pull your chin down towards your chest, lengthening your neck. Pull your shoulders away from those ears, getting a beautiful stretch just at the base of your neck. And when you're ready, roll over to your favorite side. Take one deep breath here. Long exhale. And with the next inhale, come on out, back into a comfortable seated position of your choice, be it stretching your legs out or coming into lotus. Rotate your shoulders in both directions. And allow those fingertips nicely spread, fingers to reach up. And I'd like you to pay attention to where your arms are today. Very often we just stretch them up and then turn to the side. They're sort of in front of us. And we have the tendency to lean forward anyway. So get those biceps to hug your ears. Might feel a bit tight in your armpit. Give it a try. That will already squeeze your shoulder blades a tad bit. Then travel down into the tips of your shoulder blades and pull them down like you want to fix suspenders onto your trousers. Pushing your lower ribs forward, opening your mid-spine. And with the exhale, simply release that hold a tad bit. With the next inhale, fingertips go up again. Shoulders come up towards your ears. And then rotate your shoulders slightly backwards. So you're taking your biceps slightly behind your ears. Pull the lower tips of your shoulder blades down. And now we're going to add a twist in the wrist. So you're going to rotate the thumbs outward. It'll automatically open your shoulder blades. You'll get a rotation in your shoulder joint. And release, exhale, lower your arms. Rotate your shoulders in both directions. Inhale, let's go up again. Fingertips go up. Biceps are hugging your ears. Shoulders come up to your ears. Move those biceps behind your head as far as you can go, and then twist your wrists so that your pinkies want to look towards your forehead and your thumbs want to look away. Still splaying those fingers. It feels really weird, but you're getting a beautiful opening. Keep your core nice and tight so that you don't fall into a hollow back. Lower ribs are pushing forward. 3, 2, 1, and release your arms down. Rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards once. If you need to wobble your head, please do so. We're going to go one more time. Inhale, go up, 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 up. Grow really tall. Take the arms behind your ears. And you might feel by now, your arms can reach even further back. Core is tight. Lower ribs are pushing forward. And now twist those wrists outward. Your arms will automatically come forward a tad bit when you twist those wrists. Really try to turn those wrists and make sure that your chin doesn't move forward to alleviate any possible pain you might feel in your neck. 3, 2, 1, and release. Rotate those wrists in both directions. Rotate your shoulders in both directions once. And then change your legs. Come into a side seat. So left or right, doesn't matter. And make sure, even if you're in the side seat, that you can actually sit on both sit bones. So whether you have your legs under each other, or whether you take that one inner foot, for me it's the right, and press it or touch that left inner thigh, simply shift your upper body weight over to that left side so you can feel that left sit bone root down into the mat. If you feel discomfort in your knee, flex that foot. You know, preventative, just let's flex both feet. We're going to inhale, reach up, making sure that the shoulders are above the hips. And we're going to exhale. We're going to simply drop that right hand down, and we're going to bend to the right. You'll have to press your left hip down even further because that left sit bone will want to move up. Pressing your right palm into the mat as leverage. Inhale, come back to center, grow tall. Exhale, go the other way. This side is much easier. You'll feel the stretch much easier in this right side body. Make sure that your shoulder blade is pulling backward, your chest is open, your right armpit is open. You got some loving person standing to the left of you, gently pulling on your right wrist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take your hands down, flip your legs around so that we can stretch the other side. Again, either you have your legs under each other or you press your left sole against your right inner thigh. Shift your weight into your right sit bone and hip so that you can push it down. Shoulders are above your hips. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, place your left hand down and stretch that right side body, pulling your right shoulder blade down behind yourself. Look straight forward or up. Tendency is if we look down, we will close the chest. If we look straight forward, our chest might be slightly open. If you look up, you will automatically open the chest. And then again, stretch your side body, pressing your left hand into the mat. Inhale, come back to center, and let's drop the right hand down to the mat and stretch that left side body, flexing your feet if your knees are sore, or do a preventative again, looking up, opens your chest almost automatically. Again, a loving person is standing next to you, gently pulling on your left wrist. And with the next inhale, come back, exhale, take your hands down, stretch your legs out, crossing your ankles, uncross and recross. Very good. And let's come into a tabletop. If you still have that block or book closed, take it onto your mat. If you don't have a block or book, you can do it without one. I'll show you first with the block. We are opening our chest, right? It's in a heart opening class, it seems like. So place your elbows onto your block. The elbows try to touch. We're almost in puppy pose. And then palms are touching each other. And then you're simply going to shift your glutes backwards towards your heels like in puppy pose. And you can relax your neck and your forehead travels down towards your bicep because your elbows are almost touching, your head doesn't fit through. And you're simply going to shift, 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 shift until you can feel the stretch along the outside of your shoulders, the outside of your shoulder blades. And you are stretching your chest at the same time. If this is too much, come out of it, remove the block, place your elbows down onto the mat, palms are touching too, and simply shift your body, your glute weight backwards towards your heels. Your forehead might rest on the mat, which is okay, gives you more leverage. You can push your chest down towards the mat. The closer your hands go down to the floor, the smaller the stretches. If you move your hands backwards towards your head, you will get that nice stretch even at the top part of your tricep. Whichever position you find most comfortable, stay there for 3 breaths. Last breath. And then slowly release those hands down. Push up onto your elbows, come back into a tabletop. Release your head or your crown down towards the mat. Pull your tailbone under, come into cat pose. Be gentle, rather be slower than faster. Spreading those shoulder blades apart, pulling your chin down, tucking your tailbone under, belly button goes back towards your spine. If you feel tension across your shoulder girdle, pull your shoulders away from your ears. And while we're in this cat pose, you're going to stay here for 3 breaths. We're going to simply shift forward slightly and backwards. It's a tiny movement, might be, I don't know, 1/2 centimeter up to 2 centimeters, really tiny movement, just to bring movement into your hip joints. Keeping that chin tucked down towards your chest. 2. And last one. And come to the center and slowly with your next inhale, level out your pelvis, then travel up your spine, level your mid-spine, pull your shoulders away from your ears, come into neutral spine and gently sway your hips and shoulders from side to side. If you want to rotate your spine, please do so, then do so in both directions. If your neck feels like it wants to be moved, give it a bit of a nod and a shake, and then take your hands to the short side of the mat. And we're going to come into a traditional puppy pose, shifting your weight of your glute backwards towards your heels with your exhale, lowering your chest down towards the mat, chin goes down to keep your eyes open, look straight forward. Now here, the closer your hands move together, you'll feel the stretch on the outside of your arms, shoulders, and shoulder blades. So give it a try. The further apart you move your hands, maybe even past your mat, you will feel the stretch across your chest. Please keep your eyes open and try to look forward. If any of you suffer from headaches, perfect antidote. Keeping your fingers splayed. Sit bones want to go look up towards the ceiling. And we're going to stay here for another 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly walk your hands closer together. Come on up again, taking your hands under your shoulders, coming slowly into a cat pose. Drop your chin down, tuck your tailbone under, spread those shoulder blades. And stay for another 3, 2, 1. And slowly sit down onto your heels, coming into a child's pose, allowing your fingertips to walk far away. Glutes are sitting on the heels. On the exhale, release any tension you have in your arms and shoulders. Allow the hands to glide backward. And we're going to repeat twice more. Inhale, walking those fingers away. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale. And release those hands down, 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 back towards your heels. Grab your heels and place your crown chakra onto the mat. Your shins and knees are close together. Chin goes really close towards your chest. You're going to go into rabbit pose. The next inhale, you're going to slowly lift your glutes off the mat, pushing them as far away until you feel that beautiful stretch across your shoulder girdle in your arms and maybe even in your hands. And either stay up here for 3 breaths or release your glutes down with your exhale. And with the inhale, roll over your crown chakra again. Make sure you keep your chin close to your chest. Don't look left or right. Preferably close your eyes. If you feel a stretch that is too big in your lower back, pull your lower abdominals close to your spine, meaning backwards, right? And I'm going to go down with my exhale. And I'm going to roll up again with my inhale, stretching. If you want to increase the stretch along the base of the neck of your spine, pull your shoulders away from your ears, shoulder blades going down towards your sit bones. And exhale down. Slowly allow your arms to come forward again. Place your forehead down onto the mat. Belly and chest relax on your thighs and your fingertips walk far away. If you have tension in your armpits and shoulder joint, before you exhale, push your armpits down towards the mat. Should feel a stretch on the outside of your shoulder, maybe even the shoulder blades and across your armpit, and release with your exhale. And slowly allow those hands to come back towards your head. Slowly come up into a tabletop, taking your splayed fingers and place them under your shoulders and gently sway your hips from side to side. If you want to circle your spine, do so in both directions. And come into a neutral spine and place your right hand under your center line, elongating that right arm. On the inhale, take your left arm out to the side. Exhale, lift the left fingertips up to the ceiling, pressing that lower hand, the right hand, into the mat. Reach up. There's something yummy up there. Your gaze goes up to increase the range of motion. And with the exhale, we're going to thread that needle and lie onto that left shoulder. Left palm is facing upwards. Release that right arm up. Fingertips are reaching up to the ceiling. Allow your gaze to follow your right hand. That will open your right shoulder a bit more. If this is enough, stay there. If you want to take it further, take that right hand and either grab hold of your t-shirt, your hips, or your left inner thigh. And then you got leverage. You can turn that right shoulder to open a bit more, gazing up towards the ceiling. If you feel discomfort in your lower back, pull your belly button back towards the spine, or decrease that range of twisting and just simply reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. On the next exhale, take that right hand down onto the mat and come straight into tabletop, curling your tailbone under and move into a cat pose. Deep breath here. And we're going to change the sides. Take your left hand under your center line, grow long, turn to a diagonal so you can see. Right arm goes up, gaze follows, reach up, grow long. And one side will always be easier than the other. On the exhale, thread that needle, lie down onto your right shoulder. Your right palm is facing up, and the outside of that arm is pushing into the mat. Left hand goes up. Gaze follows your left hand. Your head is relaxed on the mat. Either stay like this or grab the right hip, right t-shirt, side of your t-shirt, or your right inner thigh. Rotating your left shoulder backwards so you can open a bit more and gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, if you feel discomfort in your lower back, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Your eyes are shifting left. So the right eye is looking towards your nose and your left eye is looking to the left corner of the eye, activating the vagus nerve at the same time. And slowly release. Fingertips reach up. And exhale, take that hand down and slowly come into a tabletop. And gently shift your hips from side to side. Take your shoulders along if you want to rotate your spine. Do so. Briefly come into a cat pose, tucking your tailbone under. Shoulder blades are splaying apart. And then come into a neutral spine, slowly tucking your toes under, coming into a downward facing dog and walk that dog. Slowly and gently adjust your stance, making sure that your fingers are splayed, your hands are about shoulder width apart. Very often we think our shoulders are much wider than they actually are. So I think it's approximately between 3 and 4 centimeters between your thumbs, if you can get an L shape between your index finger and your thumb. Else, the distance will be much bigger. Release your neck and head, give them a bit of a nod and a shake. Walk that dog, keeping your feet hip distance apart, keeping those toes nicely fixed on the mat. Rotating your upper arms so your elbows can gaze down towards the mat, giving you a bit of width across the shoulder girdle. Shoulder blades pull down towards your hips, and hips move far away from your shoulders. Keep pedaling. Another 3, 2, 1. Gaze goes towards your thighs, or aim for your belly button. I can't see my belly button, but go for it. And then come to a standstill and press those heels down into the mat, irrespective of whether your legs are straight or bent. Actually, let's all bend our knees, pushing those heels down into the ground. Hips go away from your shoulders. And you should feel a nice stretch up your Achilles tendon into your calves, the back of your knees, your hamstrings, into your glutes, maybe even all the way into your lower back. Stretch as much as you feel you need your stretch, and then just add 10%. And then slowly start to stretch those legs if you can. If it's just a no-go today, stay where you are. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So if you feel too much discomfort, walk that dog. But if you can, just allow your body to sink into that downward facing dog, resting pose. Allow your chest to travel towards your thighs. So wherever you look, that's where your body's going to move most. Okay? Keep pushing those heels down into the ground. You know, minor adjustments in your alignment will work wonders. Maybe you've forgotten to turn your upper arms outward, so travel into your upper arms and say, hey, let's turn them outward. Pull those shoulder blades down towards the hips. Move your hips away from your shoulders, generating length in your spine. Push the heels into the ground and you'll feel a beautiful stretch. And we got 2 more breaths here. And with that next inhale, I'd like you to lift all 10 fingers and all 10 toes. Pressing the pads of your hands into the mat. And you might feel an increased stretch across or along your shin muscles. And with the exhale, release your hands, fingers, and toes down onto the mat. Slightly bend those knees, look forward, and shift your weight forward. Come into a plank and be really slow. You might have to shift your toes backwards so that you can actually sink your pelvis down. Move your shoulders away from your ears. If plank is too much for you today, drop your knees and feet down, or even come onto your lower arms, okay? Everything works, gotta work for you. We are simply going to release the heels to the right. So if you're on your knees and your lower arms, just simply release your right hip down to the mat, come back to center, and then go to the other side. You're still going to be working your oblique muscles. We're going to repeat 5 times on each side. So with the exhale, we lower the heels to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. This is already set 4. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center. 3 more to go, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Feel the side bodies working. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. And because it is so beautiful, we're going to do one more set. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, and lower your knees. Come into child's pose. Much deserved. Take your arms alongside your thighs. Allow your upper back, shoulders, neck, and head to release. If your glutes are not touching your heels, don't force them down, okay? Eventually, probably, your glutes will sink down onto your heels. If not, it's fine for today. If you have a loving, kind person in your household, you may ask them to gently, with splayed hands, press onto your lower back, but only gently. No jumping on your lower back, just where your iliosacral joint is or where your tailbone is, just gently pushing down. And we're going to stay for another 2 breaths. Last inhale here. Long exhale. And then slowly allow your hands to travel forward into that extended child's pose. Come on up. Allow the fingers to travel even further. And we're going to exhale, come into Chaturanga. And then rotate your shoulders backwards into a Cobra and push over your knees, coming into child's pose. A baby flow. We're going to do 3 more of those. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, go down. Be very precise with your movement, opening your chest, rotating your shoulders back in the Cobra. And then use your core muscles to pull yourself backwards. 2 more. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, down. Inhale, rotate backwards, and use your core to pull yourself back into child's pose. Last time, inhale forward, exhale down, inhale, coming into Cobra, exhale, back. Inhale, look forward, come into plank, move back into downward facing dog. Yes, I am speeding it up a bit. Sink into that downward facing dog. Give your head a bit of a nod and a shake. Then bend your knees, look forward, hop or step towards your hands. Take your feet really close. Squeeze your ankles, coming into chair pose. Make sure that you tilt your pelvis under. Your core is tight, your chest is open, you're reaching your fingertips far away. And before we do anything else, just quickly look down to check whether you can see your toenails. And make sure that those 10 toes also grab your mat. We're going to inhale, grow long in the spine, exhale, sit down a bit. It can be, I don't know, a millimeter, 2, can be 10. Inhale, exhale, sit down. We're going to do a couple more. And make sure that most of the time when we sink down, we go into a hollow back. Don't. Control the movement. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, sit down a bit more. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, sit down. Squeeze the ankles and knees. Inhale, last. Exhale, down, 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 down. Very good. And with the next exhale, come into a forward fold. Walk your feet hip distance apart. Release your shoulders, neck, and head. Give them a bit of a shake. And a nod with your head, grab your elbows and gently sway from side to side. Your legs don't have to be stretched. You can keep them bent. What I'd like you to do is shift your hips so that you can feel the entire sole of your feet, obviously both, pressing into the mat. Become mindful and conscious that those toes are actually pressing into the mat. The outer edges are pressing into the mat. The inner arch is pressing into the mat. The heel is pressing into the mat. Because very often we have the majority of our weight into our heels. So we want to accommodate the entire foot. And then next time you're in the center, you're going to release your elbows, slightly bend your knees and come up into a standing position using your core. Grow long. And again, move those biceps to hug your ears. Exhale, take your hands down in front of your heart center. Come to the top of your mat if you're not there yet. Stand as comfortable as feels comfortable to you. We're going to inhale up. Nice, precise, controlled movement. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Legs bent or straight. I'll leave that up to you. Inhale, come into half lift. Rotate your shoulders backwards. Gaze down. Exhale, take your hands onto the mat. Hop or step back into a plank, high plank, or your knees down. I'll leave that up to you. Exhale, take your elbows into Chaturanga. And we're just going to stay there for 5. Squeeze those elbows to your ribs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. And coming to Cobra or upward facing dog. Tuck your toes under and move back into downward facing dog. Shake your head out, nod your head, pressing into that downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, hop or step towards your hands and come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Biceps are hugging your ears. Your quads are working real hard. Exhale, take your hands in front of your heart center and down into mountain pose. We're going to go again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Make sure you pull those shoulders backwards. Exhale, step down, backwards into plank. Go down into Chaturanga. Again, we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and rotate into upward facing dog or Cobra. And go back into downward facing dog. And relax into that downward facing dog, making sure that your fingers are splayed, your feet are hip distance apart, your neck and head is released, shoulders are pushing down towards your hips, hips are pushing away from your shoulders, so you can feel the stretch along the backside. Now, shift your weight into your left hand, release your right hand, trust your hands and feet, and then grab anything on the outside of your left leg, be it your hip, your t-shirt, even your ribs, or your ankle. And then exhale and twist your chest so that you can look up towards the ceiling. Again, your eyes are looking to the inner and outer edge of your eyeball or eye socket. You know what I mean. Remember, we're still in the downward facing dog. We're not in a plank. And with the next exhale, look down to the mat, release that right hand, and just change sides. Release your left hand and hold on to whatever you can reach or feels comfortable, plus 10% on your right side. And on the exhale, twist your chest so you can look up to the ceiling, pressing your 2 feet and that one hand into the mat, giving yourself leverage. Exhale, gaze down to the mat again and place your left hand next to your right. Inhale, come forward into plank, just because we can. Exhale, come down into Chaturanga, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come into upward facing dog or Cobra. Allow your chest to open, squeeze those shoulder blades, and then exhale and release into downward facing dog. Take your feet mat width apart in your downward facing dog, pressing your chest down towards your thighs. Your crown chakra might actually touch the mat? If so, move your hands slightly towards your feet so that you're a bit higher. Feel a different stretch if you have your feet mat width apart. With your next inhale, take your feet hip distance again. And then inhale, look forward, bend your knees and either hop or walk towards your hands, coming into a half lift, rotating your shoulders backwards, making sure that your hips are above your ankles. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Bending your knees slightly. Inhale, come on up into standing position. Fingers go up. And exhale, take your hands down in front of your heart center. Release your hands next to your body into mountain pose. Then come down onto your mat, onto a seated position. Let's cradle that baby. I think we've done this before. Like you're sitting in lotus or half lotus, take whichever leg. We only have two, so it's really easy. Take that, grab hold. I've got my right foot, grabbing my right foot with my left hand, and I'm supporting my right knee with my right hand or lower arm. Very important, don't round your spine. Anybody can rock a baby with a rounded spine, but we are going to stretch our spine. Allow that crown to grow tall. Press your lower ribs forward to open that mid spine, and then hold your right lower leg like a baby, and then gently rock it from side to side. Minimal movement. It doesn't have to be like 30 centimeters to either side. So keep that range of motion small. Always keep checking in with your spine. Both sit bones are pressing into the mat. And if you say, okay, this is, I can do more, then place your right foot into the inside of your left elbow. Hold your calf with your left hand, cradling that lower leg and placing your right knee into the inside of your right elbow. So you're really cradling that lower leg. Again, make sure your lower spine, actually your entire spine is straight. But what gives most of the time is your lower back, and we don't want that. Flex those ankles. You can flex both if you want to. And again, tiny movement, gentle rocking. You rock too much, that baby won't go to sleep. Not that we want our leg to go to sleep, but you know what I mean. Gentle movement here. And we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release that baby down onto the mat again and grab the other one. And again, maybe you want to start small, simply holding your left foot with your right hand and supporting your left knee with your lower arm on your left arm. Again, right that spine, lengthen your spine, crown goes up, lower ribs pushing forward, and you start small. And if you think my hips can do a bit more, do the same thing on this side, placing your left foot into the inside of your right elbow and pulling that left knee, or putting the left knee into the left inside elbow. One side will always be different to the other. You will feel the stretch in your glutes, maybe in your lower back. You might feel it in your hip. You shouldn't. It's a hip opener, but you will definitely feel it in the glutes. I'll be interested to hear where you felt it. So we're going to do another 5. Remember, your spine is straight. Shoulders are pulling away from your ears. 4, 3, 2, 1. Because it's so nice, let's add another 2. So we're balanced left and right. And slowly release that baby down onto the mat. And if you can, come into lotus or half lotus, rooting your sit bones down, just level that hip so you come up nice and straight, reach your fingertips up. And then release your palms down onto the ground. And it doesn't matter how far down you go, okay? You can just simply stay upright and push your shoulders away from your ears, pressing your palms into the hands so you can feel your pelvis pushing down. or you can release your entire front body down towards the mat, including your forehead. If you do release your entire front side, make sure that your sit bones are still connected to the mat, and then slightly pull your tailbone under so you get that sensation of length in your lower spine. Again, if you feel tightness in your armpits, you can push those armpits down towards the mat, getting nice wide shoulder blades. You get a stretch along the outer edges of your shoulders and shoulder blades. And we're going to stay here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on back. Take your hands up, rotate them backwards. Place your fingertips or hands behind your spine. Open that chest. Breathing into the belly, pulling it up into the solar plexus, opening your chest, rotating your shoulders backwards, and either gaze forward or upward, or even releasing the back of your head in between your shoulder blades, depending on what feels comfortable to you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. If you want to open your psoas, lift your glutes and shift your weight onto your knees, pushing your hip bones forward. So your hands are pressing into the mat and your hip bones are going forward, opening the entire front side of your body. And we're going to stay here for another 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly release the glutes down again. Gaze forward and come into a straight seated position. Rotate your shoulders in both directions. Place your feet onto the mat. Come to the other short side of your mat. Come into a forward fold. Bending your knees slightly, coming up into a standing position, and we're going to go into sun salutation on this side of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into plank. Go down into Chaturanga. Don't worry, you won't stay. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale into downward facing dog. Pressing into that downward facing dog. Bend those knees, look forward, hopper step towards your hands, come into half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands come down next to your body into mountain pose. You're going to go one more time. Inhale. Be precise with the movement. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back with the other leg. So we're balanced. Go down into Chaturanga. Elbows close. Inhale. Rotate your elbows, no, not your elbows, your shoulders backwards, opening your chest, and stay in upward facing dog or cobra. Just because we can. Press your hands into the mat. Lengthen those arms. Proud cobra or upward facing dog. Gaze up towards the ceiling if your neck permits. And with the next exhale, slowly tuck your toes under and move back into downward facing dog. Rest into that dog. Maybe you can tilt your pelvis slightly so you can sit bones can look up at the ceiling. With the next inhale, look forward, bend your knees, hop or step towards your hands, coming into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees slightly, come on up into standing position. And exhale your hands down into mountain pose. Come on down onto your mat into a seating position. Let's stretch those Achilles tendons. Stretch your left leg or your right, doesn't matter, we have 2, we're going to do both. Make sure that the beautiful fleshy bits are moved away from your sit bones. Flex that elongated leg, left or right, making your toes look towards you. And then you're going to lengthen that spine. Proud. You're going to grab hold of your foot. And it doesn't matter how far you can stretch your leg or how close your toes will come to your nose. Okay. We want to get the stretch from your heel into the Achilles tendon and maybe into your hamstring. Okay. What is important is that your spine is straight. So your lower ribs go forward again. Your shoulders are rotated backwards. Shoulder blades are pulling down. Now, be nice and bend that leg. Inhaling, proud. Exhale, push that heel away from you. Flex the foot and bend it. Exhale, stretch. And release. Exhale, stretch. Because it's so nice, we're going to do one more. Bend. And exhale, stretch. And while we're here, see whether your ribs can move closer to your thigh or your thigh can move closer to your ribs. You're going to grab hold of the outside of your right foot with your left hand. So you're going on a diagonal. Again, make sure your lower ribs are pushing forward. With the exhale, you're going to open your right arm all the way. Your gaze follows your right hand. And at the same time, you don't have to, pull that right leg across your left so you get a nice twisting action in your spine, but you're getting a nice stretch on the outside of your thigh and into your hip. Be nice to yourself, but push yourself. We're going to stay for another 3, 2, spine is nice and straight. 1, and then slowly come forward again with gaze and arm. Hold that foot. Maybe you can pull it a bit closer. It can be bent. It doesn't have to be straight. Shoulders are pulled away from your ears, and then release that right leg or whichever leg you were stretching out. Give those legs a bit of a shake. Give your shoulders a bit of a rotate in both directions. And then let's do the same thing on the other leg. Make sure you're sitting on both sit bones. Grab hold of your foot. Lengthen your spine. Push your lower ribs forward. Rotate your shoulders backwards and down. Inhale, exhale, extend that leg. Both feet are flexed. The heel is pushing away. And if your leg's shaking, it's definitely working. Like Jello. Very good. And bend. And exhale and stretch. So very often we release the upper back because we think, oh, this is much easier. Don't. Keep that upper back nice and straight, proud, sitting there very dignified, and extend. Push that heel away and bend and push it away and bend. And we're going to do one more push, 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 push. Then grab hold of the outer edge with your right hand on the diagonal. Sit nice and tall, and then release that left hand back. One side will always be easier than the other. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And if you want to, you can pull that left leg gently across your right. And then slowly come on back. Pull that leg closer to your chest again, and then bend and release and shake those legs. Come onto your mat in case you moved off your mat. Bending those legs slightly, pushing those soles of your feet firmly into the ground. Hold your knees, round your lower back, and then slowly roll down onto your spine. Taking those knees along, keeping them hip distance apart, and gently hug those knees towards your chest. Release your neck and shoulder blades down onto the mat. Keep those knees hip distance or even further apart so you can press the outer back, sort of where your kidneys are, where that squishy, soft area is, where your obliques are. Push that down, getting a nice release and stretch. Breathe deeply into your belly, then pull that breath up into your solar plexus and into your heart center. And slowly exhale from your heart center past your solar plexus, and then gently pull your belly button back towards your spine. Move your knees together, point your toes, and curl into a tiny ball. Either nose goes to knees, or knees go to nose, or they meet halfway. And stay curled up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, slowly release. Stretch those legs out and the arms. They're floating above the ground, just in case you are wondering. So fingers are pointed, toes are pointed, lower back presses into the mat. And we're going to stay here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down onto the mat and stretch your entire body from your toes up to your fingertips. Maybe stretching one side and releasing the other, whatever feels good to you. And then release, bend your knees, taking your heels close enough to your glutes so that your fingertips can touch them. Make sure your big toes look towards each other slightly just to protect your lower back, you'll see. Remember, we've got a balloon between our knees and we got a ping pong ball between the chin and the chest, elongating that neck spine of ours. And on the next inhale, we're simply going to tilt that pelvis upward so your glutes come off the mat like 2 finger widths. And then release the glute muscles. I like that feeling. I'll always also be interested in whether you can feel it and whether that's a yay or a And then with your next exhale, release the glutes down. With your next inhale, you're going to lift those glutes a bit higher, halfway up your spine. Palms are facing down, they're lying on the mat. You're holding the balloon, you're holding the ping pong ball. You're going to release the glute muscles. And now try to allow those sit bones to travel down towards your heels. It's a minimal movement, but it should give you the sensation of space in your lower spine, basically from your tailbone or pubic bone all the way up to sort of around your belly button, maybe even in your psoas. And then slowly release your spine, vertebra after vertebra down onto the mat. Your glutes too, obviously. And release any possible tension you're holding there. And then with the next inhale, we're going to go all the way up. If that is your cup of tea today, roll your shoulders and upper arms under your back, interlace your fingers, and you can get a bit more leverage if you press the outer edges of your arms and hands into the mat, being able to open up your front side, pushing the soles of your feet into the ground. Don't look left or right anymore, please. The minute you come into this pose, just stare up to the ceiling, your nose, or close your eyes. Remember the balloon between your knees, the ping pong ball between your chin and chest. Your glutes are working overtime, so release them. Allow them to simply hang there. Your front side is being opened and lengthened. The soles of your feet, the outer edges of your hands, arms, and shoulders are supporting you. Now, those glute muscles always want to kick into action, so be vigilant. Say, and take a rest. Lengthening that front side, opening. And 3, 2, 1, and slowly release the hold on your hands. Release your upper arms and shoulders, and then slowly release your spine onto the mat. Taking special care with your lower back. And then maybe move your feet a bit further away. Take your arms out to the side, palms facing down, and gently sway your knees from side to side. If you want to take your head along, do so. Be kind to yourself, always, but now especially. And if this is enough for you and your spine, then you stay like that, increasing the range of motion of the knee and the head. If you want a bit more, then drop your knees over to the side, releasing your inner thighs down to the mat. Really release them. And then gaze into the opposite direction. If that is not enough, take your lower ankle, place it on the outside of your upper knee, And gently apply a bit of pressure, and you will feel that it's my right knee going onto the outside of my left knee. I can feel a lengthening along my left side body. Hip is pushing down towards my knee. I release the lower back. And then slowly let go of that twist, come back to the center and move over to the other side, or simply stay with a movement that you had. Work with your breath. So on the inhale, you're lengthening, right? On the exhale, you can apply a bit of pressure. That moves that upper hip downward and away from the shoulder, creating length between your lower ribs and your pelvis or hip. On the next inhale, come back to center. Stretch your legs up and your arms up. Come into bear pose, splay those toes, splay the fingers. Neck is on the mat, shoulder blades are on the mat, lower back is pushing into the mat. And I'd like you to pay attention to the pads of your hands and the heels of your feet. They push up, generate a lot of length into your extremities. Pull your chin down to your chest. And we're going to stay here for 8. Belly button pushes back towards your spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Be as vigorous as you want in this movement, like a beetle on its back. Fling everything you don't need anymore out into the universe. Suppose the windows are open. If not, open them afterwards. Another 3, 2, 1, and release your arms and legs down onto the mat. Turn your palms up. And please take as much space as you want on your mat, past your mat. And then take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your open mouth, releasing. Do 2 more of those. Last one. Allow your ankles to fall outward. Allow your entire body to grow as heavy as possible. And we're going to sink into the mat, maybe past the mat, maybe all the way down to the center of the earth, where we're protected and safe. Your toes, feet, ankles, relax. Your shins, your calves, relax. Your knees, your thighs, relax. Your pelvis, your glutes, your lower back. Relax. Your belly, your chest. Relax. Your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Relax. Your arms, your wrists, palm of your hands, your fingers. Relax. Your neck, the back of your head. Relax. Your forehead, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows. Relax. The tip of your nose, your lips, your tongue. Relax. Your lower jaw, your cheeks, your ears. Relax. Release your entire body weight to the center of the earth. Relax. With your next inhale, slowly bring your attention back into the space around you. Become aware of sounds near and far. Feel the air on your skin. And feel that support beneath your body. And slowly graze your thumbs over your fingertips. Slowly coming back into your beautiful body with your awareness. Wiggle your toes. And then take a deep inhale, reach your arms over your head and grow long. Stretch from your toes up to your fingers and from your fingers down to your toes. And when you're ready, slowly fold one knee after the other towards your chest. And simply lie there like that. Releasing whatever you don't need anymore. And gently roll from side to side, activating Ida and Pingala, those energy channels left and right of your spine. And then roll over to your favorite side and release whatever you're holding and don't need into your mat. Relax. Take another 2 breaths here, allowing your body to grow really heavy. And with your next inhale, slowly come back up into comfortable seated position of your choice. Rooting down through your sit bones, lengthening that spine, allowing your crown chakra to travel up towards the ceiling. Then touch the thumbs to the tip of your ring finger and pinky fingers into Pran Mudra, extending index and middle finger, palms facing up. Breathing deeply into your belly, extending that belly, pulling that breath up past your beautifully glowing solar plexus and all the way up into your heart center. Your shoulders and forehead are relaxed. Allow those lights to glow and spread out to the edges of your physical body and maybe beyond. Take your attention on a short trip throughout your body. If you notice any discomfort or dis-ease, acknowledge it with your inhale and release it on your exhale through your open mouth. And repeat it as often as you feel necessary today. Take a deep inhale, inflating your belly, pulling that breath past your glowing solar plexus into your glowing heart center. And with the exhale, release the Pran Mudra and taking your hands in front of your heart center into Anjalina Mudra, thumbs lightly touching your sternum, lower your forehead down to your fingers in gratitude for the time and effort you invested in the most spectacular human to walk the face of the earth, yourself. Release your right hand onto your lower belly, your left hand onto your heart center. Breathing into your belly, lifting that right hand. Pull the breath up into your solar plexus, allowing that light to shine out. Keep pulling that breath up into your heart center and allow the pink or green to spread out. Up to your crown, down along your arms and all the way down past your solar plexus, down to your toes. And then take your right hand, place it onto your left hand. Connect to your heart space. You might conjure a smile onto your face. And then you release your hands, fingertips go up towards the ceiling, palms touching. And then take those hands down in front of your heart center, thumbs touching your sternum. Release those thumbs up to your forehead. Gratitude and love, I realize who I am. And take those thumbs down to your heart center, glowing out to the boundaries of your body and beyond. Gratitude and love, I realize who I am, what I have, and what I have to give. And allow that sentiment to course throughout your physical, emotional body, out past your body, into the world, and touch as many people as you'd like to today and in the days to come. To finish the class, we'll do 3 lines. Breath, keep your hands in Anjalina Mudra or move them out into cactus hands or arms, whatever feels most comfortable. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your open mouth. Stick out your tongue, growl, whatever floats your boat. 2 more. The last one. And then take your hands back into Anjalina Mudra. Move your thumbs up to your forehead if you are so inclined, and then open your eyes when you are ready. I wish you a beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much for joining.